Hey y'all, welcome to the kitchen here at Back Porch Cooking and Reminiscing. I'm Roger, and I'm sure happy to have y'all here cooking with us today. Today we're going to be doing a breakfast video. And now this breakfast video is going to be a little bit different because one of the items that we're going to be making is a 100-year-old Appalachian, depending on how you want to say it, recipe. But we're going to be doing some drop biscuits. We got some bacon. We're going to do some fried potatoes. And then the star of the show is going to be cornbread gravy. A lot of you probably never heard of cornbread gravy. And basically what you do is you take leftover cornbread and you use your bacon grease, or you can use lard or sausage grease, just whatever you've cooked, and you crumble that cornbread up into that bacon grease. You let it brown a little bit, and then you pour your milk or your water into it, and you just stir it until it thickens, and you've got a cornbread gravy. And it's a forgotten recipe because nobody ever makes it anymore. So we'll get to some history on it and later in the video. And so let's get ready to start cooking and making this cornbread gravy.
Yeah. Porch boards sway in a slow rhythm. Got the screen door sighing a low hum. That old wood stove is cooking something good. Smell of bacon filling up the neighborhood.
So I've got us some bacon already cooked. Now I cooked this bacon in the oven. That's my favorite way to cook bacon. Number one, it don't make a mess all over your stovetop. And number two, it makes a great tasting bacon. So we've got the bacon done. In the oven, I've got my drop biscuits going. So they're already in there, and I'll leave you a link in the description for our video on drop biscuits so you can go and look at them. Or we've got regular Southern biscuits and we've got cat head biscuits, videos on both of those, so you can check those out. I got a pan over here. We've got my potatoes in, and they're starting to cook, and we're going to add a little salt and pepper to them. And we got a pan here. It's got bacon grease in it, and this is where we're going to be making our cornbread gravy. All right, so we got a good start on it, so let's finish it up. So my biscuits are done, took them out of the oven. My potatoes are just about done. So now we're going to get to making this cornbread gravy. So in this pan here, I've got some bacon grease and some scrapings from the pan that we cooked that in. As I told you, did it in the oven. And so we scraped some of that off. It's getting good and hot right now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 cup of crumbled cornbread into the pan. And then we're just going to whisk that around so that we get it all incorporated into the grease that's in there. So I did decide to go to a fork rather than that whisk to do this. And since this is a metal pan, we're okay with doing that. And guys, I'm starting to smell this cornbread cooking, and it is smelling delicious. And we just want to keep mashing that up until we get all of that cornbread kind of mashed into just little tiny pieces. And as you can see, it's starting to brown, which is what we want. And it's starting to kind of cook up, kind of like a roux would if you were making just a flour gravy. Our cornbread is looking good, so let's start slowly pouring our milk in. And we're starting out with 1/2 cup of milk, and then we'll see how that goes, and if we need to add any more, or if we do need to, we may just add some water to it. It's got our milk in there, and now, just like with regular gravy, you just got to keep stirring. As you can see, we've got a good simmering boil going on here, and it is starting to thicken up, but you just got to keep stirring it and letting it do its thing until it gets to the thickness that you want. All right, so while our cornbread gravy is simmering here on the stove, let's get into a little bit of history about cornbread gravy. Now, this would be something that probably your great grandmother may have made back in the 1800s. Here's a little history. If you've ever had cornbread gravy, you're tasting a deep piece of Appalachian and Southern food history. Today, we think of white sawmill gravy made with flour as the default, but go back to the 1800s and wheat flour was expensive, hard to grow in southern soil, and hard to come by. Corn, on the other hand, corn grew everywhere. Because wheat flour was often saved for special occasions, cooks needed a reliable way to turn skillet pan drippings into a heartier meal. Enter the leftover cornbread. In rural mountain kitchens, throwing away food wasn't an option. Stale day-old cornbread was crumbled straight into hot bacon fat or lard or sausage grease, toasted until fragrant, and loosened up with milk, broth, or even water. This technique also has deep African roots. Enslaved cooks brought over a dish called kush, a method of recooking seasoned cornmeal or broken cornbread directly into hot fat and broth to stretch every single meal. The tradition directly shaped Southern dressings and skillet gravies. During the Great Depression, cornbread gravies kept entire families fed for pennies, giving farm hands and miners high-calorie fuel before heading into the fields or mines. As store-bought flour got cheap in the 20th century, standard flour roux took over, turning cornbread gravy into a forgotten home kitchen secret. You know, it is a forgotten recipe. Most people have probably never even heard of it before. And that's why I wanted to do this video today, to bring back one of those old forgotten recipes. All right, so this is what that Appalachian breakfast might have looked like 100 years ago. We've got our drop biscuits, put some of that gravy on it, put some on the potatoes, put some on our eggs. We got a few slices of bacon. Now, I've tasted this gravy, and to me, it kind of tastes like if you took cornbread and crumbled it up and poured milk over top of it, but it's got a little more creaminess than what that would have. So if you're somebody who likes cornbread and milk, you would probably love this gravy. But it's time to give it a taste, see how it is. I've got me some of our drop biscuit with this cornbread gravy on it. Let's see how it is. It's actually pretty good. Let's try some egg. And some potato. All right, so it is pretty good gravy. It's different. It's not going to be anything like your flour gravy. But I'll tell you, it does put me in mind of my cornmeal gravy, which we've got a video on that. I believe it's on the Tennessee Mountain Man breakfast, and I'll leave you a link there for that cornmeal gravy. But that's what it reminds me of, but a little bit more of a coarse consistency than what my cornmeal gravy has. But again, everything I tasted it on, it paired well with each one of them. So, you know, like I say, if you like cornbread and milk, you'll probably love this. So give it a try. See what you think. You know, not going to hurt you. You don't spend a lot of money on it. because you've already cooked your cornbread. You're going to have to use a little bit of milk, a little bit of bacon grease or some other type of grease. But give it a try. Just see what you think about it. Like I say, it's a probably over 100-year-old recipe, and it's what your great grandma made back in the 1800s. Make it for your family. Share it with your friends. See what y'all think about it. Leave us a comment if you make it. Tell us what you think. If you've ever had it before. So guys, we appreciate y'all being here today. Remember, if you would, if you haven't already, click on that like and subscribe button for me. Leave us a comment. Click on the bell so you get notifications when we post a new video. And again, appreciate y'all being here, and we'll see you next time.